The unsuccessful attempt to set fire to the military registration and enlistment office in Russia was regarded as an act of terrorism. Oleg Vazhdayev from Krasnodar, detained in September last year, spoke about the tortures by security forces. Testimony about the alleged Ukrainian customers was beaten out of him.
He truthfully told the security forces about the motives for the arson attempt, but this apparently did not suit the police. Then they put a gas mask on him without a hose, so that no screams could be heard, threw him to the floor, rolled up his pants and got a current plug to his shins, demanding that he confess to receiving funding from Ukraine. Unable to endure the torture, Oleg remembered the parcel waiting for him at the post office, saying that there were $5,000 listed by the customers of the terrorist attack. He was immediately taken to the post office, but there was a cheap pendant in the parcel. Alexei Avanesyan, lawyer, in an interview with Current Time.
Recall that Vazhdayev threw 2 bottles of Molotov cocktails at the building in order to destroy his accounting records and avoid being mobilized. One of the Molotov cocktails did not smash and the second one set fire in front of the building. Meanwhile, the father of 6th grader Masha Moskalyova from the Tula region has already been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Recall that Alexei Moskalyov was accused of repeated discrediting of the Russian army for the anti-war drawing of his daughter.
The case was settled in one day. According to Moskalyov, his page on the social network was repeatedly hacked, and the publications imputed to him were posted by attackers. Moskalyov's daughter, 6th grader Masha, who drew an anti-war drawing at an art lesson, has been kept in a rehabilitation center for minors since the beginning of March. Vladimir Belyenko, lawyer, in an interview with OVD Info.
A criminal case has been opened in Ulan-Ude about the rehabilitation of Nazism against a teenager who shouted "Glory to Ukraine" while standing on a monument to the Red Guards. And in the Moscow region, Ella Znamenskaya, deputy editor-in-chief of the independent weekly Zhukovsky Vesti, Zhukovsky News, was fined 30,000 rubles for the YouTube stream "Your denunciation is very important for us," discussing the war in Ukraine. Russia's repressive laws are getting tougher, experts say.
Russian authorities intend to tighten control over the population of Russia, since these laws are not only a measure of responsibility, but they are also an instrument of censorship. In this sense, the authorities are trying to prevent the dissemination of information, thereby carrying out repressions against Russians.
A court in the Khabarovsk region sentenced a Jehovah's Witness to 6.5 years in prison for reading the Bible. Jehovah's Witnesses were recognized in Russia as an extremist organization in 2017. It is still unclear why. The security forces do not give rest to Navalny either. According to Navalny himself, the forces put an old friend, a tractor driver who has big problems with hygiene, to him in a punishment cell again.
You see, once again, there was an amazing coincidence. They put me in a punishment cell, and that man immediately commits a successful offense. He smoked in the same place for 2 months, and no one paid attention. But as soon as it was necessary to make the impossible stuffy cell even more stuffy and unbearable, he was also given 15 days for that smoking. The special charm is that for the last 2 months, he has not been given even basic hygiene items. No toothpaste, no toilet paper. Well, you already understood yourself. They transferred him to me, of course having marinated him in the medical unit. Well, you already understood yourself. They transferred him to me, of course having marinated him in the medical unit. They use a person as a cotton swab with bacteria. Alexei Navalny, Russian opposition leader, on Telegram.
The security forces continue to actively monitor the social networks of Russians, so a resident of Kamensk-Uralsky, Sergei Kiselev, left a comment on the social network under a post with a photo of a banner on the City Hall building, "Guys, we're waiting for you with a victory." Kiselev wrote that the banner was hanging for showing off. The court fined him 30,000 rubles. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.